In this particular video, we're going to cover how you can go from completely unknown to becoming an authority in 60 days or less, even if you don't have any followers. So we're going to dive right in. Now, the challenge you might be having is that you're fairly new to LinkedIn, or you're pivoting from being in a different niche and no one actually knows who you are. So people aren't taking you seriously. So what you need is what we call credibility signals. Now, a credibility stack is basically a systematic process to build 7 credibility signals in 60 days, and each signal will basically build upon the previous one. So by day 60, you're going to be positioned as an authority even if you don't have any followers. Now, the main signals here are going to be an optimized profile, consistent content, having engagement, social proof, thought leadership, media mentions, and results. But we're going to break each of these down in more detail so that they become actionable and actually make sense for you to implement into your particular business. So starting with the first signal, which is an optimized profile. Now, to go about doing this, first thing you need to do is have a professional headshot. Make sure it's clear, make sure it's professional and engaging so that people would want to engage. Then you need to have a clear headline. So you need to explain who you are, what you do, and how you do it in your headline on LinkedIn. This will really help in terms of you being discovered and taken seriously while attracting people to actually want to engage with you. Then you want to have a strong about section. So you want to break down what the problem is that you solve, your solutions, or how you go about solving that, any proof points you have, and a clear call to action for how someone can go about engaging with you. That could be your website, it could be your email, or it could be both. So the goal here is to look credible at first glance when someone comes to engage with you. Now, the second signal is then consistent content, right? So you need to be posting at least 3 times a week, between 3 and 4 times a week, using frameworks, insights, and stories. And I cover a lot of different ways of going about this on the channel. So do check out some of the other videos to support with that. Now, this consistency will signal professionalism. So don't really focus on engagement yet. More so focus on consistency, because you want to show that you're active and you want to show that you're serious. The third signal is then engagement. So comment on 10 to 20 posts each day. And you want to make sure these are high visibility posts, right? So the ones that you comment on, make sure that they're getting a lot of engagement, because each comment you do then has a greater chance of actually putting you in the spotlight. Also, make sure you reply to all of the comments on your own posts, of course, because these types of engagement signals, they're going to show that you're part of the community by engaging with other people, engaging in your own posts. This will help you then to get seen and to build more relationships on the platform. Now, the fourth signal is then social proof. So ask for 5 to 10 LinkedIn recommendations. So feature testimonials in your featured section, because the more you can show social proof, that will help you with credibility. Now, if you are really early stage and you don't have any clients or you don't have any social proof, what you can then do instead is go and make sure that you clearly articulate your process, or do something like offer a free course, basically over index on value so that people can engage, really get to know about the way that you think about things. And this will help to really build trust and to drive credibility. The fifth signal is then thought leadership. So you want to post some frameworks, some real original insights, and some contrarian takes, because thought leadership, that really signals expertise. So by sharing unique perspectives and not just generic advice, people will really then start to see you as an expert. So really be thoughtful about the type of content that you share. Really focus on quality over quantity, and this will get you to a point where you'll be seen as much more of an authority on the platform. Now, the sixth signal is their media mention. So this is where you can do things like guest posting on industry blogs or appearing on podcasts. You can also get featured in other newsletters or get media mentions that really signal authority. Now, when you go about doing this, the benefit is you're basically borrowing credibility from other established platforms. So it puts you in a situation where if you're quite early stage, you're able to increase your perceived value, you're able to increase your perceived authority, and all of this will help you to start driving more qualified inbound leads and more qualified flow to help you to grow and scale on the platform. Now, the seventh signal is then actual results. So where you can, sharing case studies with numbers, posting client wins and testimonials, because results will signal proof. And when you can actually show that you can deliver outcomes, this will significantly help you as you want to grow and scale, because it helps to bridge that trust bridge, as we would like to call it. And that's going to help you to shine on the platform. Now, if you were to break this out over 60 days, in the first week, you really want to focus on optimizing your profile. Between days 8 and 30, posting that 3 to 4 times times a week consistently, getting in that flow. Between days 15 and 45, really focusing on engaging daily with your comments, 10 to 20 comments a day if you can. Between days 20 and 40, make sure you get those 5 to 10 LinkedIn recommendations. And then between days 30 and 50, really get in the flow and the groove of posting that thought leadership content, so that between days 40 and 55, you can secure 2 to 3 media mentions. And then at the final stage, between day 50 and 60, start sharing case studies and results. And that's how you can position yourself as an authority in just 60 days or less. And this is what we call the stacking effect, because each signal will build on the previous one. So the first couple of signals are designed to make sure that you come across as professional. The rest of the signals then really support you in becoming credible and becoming ultimately an authority, because the whole is greater than the sum of each of these parts. So even if you don't actually have any followers, you can then go about establishing authority through these credibility signals. And even with only a few hundred followers, you can really be seen as an authority. So focus on the signals, don't obsess over the followers. Now, some of the common mistakes I do want to make sure you avoid is skipping the profile optimization part. That's so important because that's the foundation, and you've got to build your house on a solid foundation. The second is posting inconsistently, because consistency is key with this. It's key with anything, right, in life. It's the discipline and the consistency to show up each and every day in some way. The third is just not asking for recommendations. You'll find that this will be a big help for you, and people actually are a lot more inclined to help. Most of the time, you're just not asking, and if you don't ask, you don't get, right? You know how that goes. And once you go about doing this, you're going to find that people are going to take you more seriously. You'll start to attract more high quality inquiries, and you'll book calls from inbound interest because you've now positioned yourself as an authority within your niche. Now, if you find this type of content helpful, we actually extend on this to really get you to a position where you can generate leads, qualified leads on autopilot through LinkedIn. So if that's something of interest to you, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below of this video where you'll see a free training that I've done, which breaks down this type of approach, but extends it in a bit more detail so you can get a real understanding of how you can start to generate qualified leads and qualified sales calls on autopilot through LinkedIn, through what we call our Influx autopilot system. So do go and check that out. If you also found this particular video helpful, please do take a second to hit the like button, to leave a thoughtful comment, to subscribe to this channel, and also share it with someone that you know, to put us in a position where we can grow and extend our reach together. Again, I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.